Hey y'all, it's Ellie, and what's today's date? Today is Friday, January 8th, and after January the 6th, the MAGA rallies, all that, y'all, I live in the United States, and so it's our country, but I don't think a lot of people in this country really understand how much we affect the entire world. So it's like, ooh, our country is going through this. The whole world's going through it. Okay. Because I said this when Trump was running for president. I was like, he's just going to make the entire country a reality show. And that's what it is. The whole country is a reality show now. And that's not me being mean. I'm just being truthful about that. We all eyes are on us right now. So it's like, in a way, we have a responsibility to, at least as Christ followers, you can't hold people without the love of Christ in their hearts to be accountable for anything. Even when it comes to spirituality, you can say you're doing everything for good or love, but a lot of people, here's the thing about spirituality. There's duality. And so when you're whole, all is good by itself usually. But let's take Von Tucutt, for example. Duality. He was on one side at one point, and he went to the other side after another point. And so, you can't say that spirituality is what's going to get you to the next level alone. And that is for people who follow the Bible. Now, if you don't follow the Bible and you want to, disregard anything I just said, cool with me. You're watching this video. So, but I encourage anybody to read the Bible, whether you want to give your life to Christ or not. Read the Bible. I'm in the book of Exodus right now. And that's actually what I want to talk about with you guys in this video. I'm reading the book of Exodus, and I believe I'm in chapter 12. But that was talking about how this was after the firstborns had all passed away. God had hardened Pharaoh's heart one last time. I think it's the last time. I gotta keep reading, but I read 2 chapters a day, so I'm gonna finish the rest before I go to bed. But all the plagues had come upon Egypt until the firstborns died, and the Hebrews had to borrow their neighbors' silver, their livestock, their gold, precious items, all of that stuff. And they haven't been released yet, but they have the stuff. And so I think it's in the next chapter. It's either in the next chapter or the chapter after. Then they start headed to the Red Sea. And so right now, I'll get right back to that in a minute. I just finished watching or listening to a Marcus Rogers video, and he went to heaven. I went to heaven on January 6th. That was the same day as the MAGA rallies and stuff. Now I have to do your call later, man. I'm sorry. But I went to heaven too this week. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I spent some time with the Lord. And now the awesome thing about God is if you make sure that you get to him before anything else in your day happens, you'll have heavenly experiences. So, and the thing is, I was talking to him. I was like, God, am I finna die? And literally, he was kind of if you want to type of thing. And I know that sounds weird, but you don't know when you if you watch the movie Soul, that old lady, that old soul that was on the way to what they call it, the beyond. She was like, I've been waiting for this time for so many years. And it's some people are just waiting to die. I was at a point where I was waiting to die, but I'm not in that place anymore. And so when I was presented with the opportunity to go to heaven, I was like, nah, I'm going to help the people. We still, gotta save some souls. And so it's not that I've been closed out or anything. It's just he allowed me to experience that amazing feeling. It was amazing. It was awesome. I had such a great day. And the thing is, like, despite everything happening at the Capitol, I had a great day. It's kind of tough. Because like all of 2020, talking about perilous times, I'm like, yo, that was the best year of my life, dude. The worst year of my life was 2019, so it's just very ironic that the best year of my life happened to be everybody else's worst year. So I'm like, and I've been hearing that from a lot of Christ followers too. It's like, yo, if you love Jesus, man, your life good right now. Like, if you really love Jesus, your life good. Because it's like, some people probably lost their jobs. Some people probably like got evicted, lost their homes and stuff. But if you got the love of Christ, God made provision. He made a way. And you're still here, ain't it? Like, you didn't die. So, I mean, but anyway, so going back to Marcus Rogers, he just posted that video. I highly recommend y'all watch it. It's 143. All followers of Christ must watch this video. Let me repeat the title word for word. Okay, so the title is 143. Every believer must listen to this dream God gave me last night. I was paralyzed. I kept crying. And the thing about Marcus Rogers is he has a lot of attacks from external sources because of his platform, because he's so big, and because he's doing exactly what God told him to do. And so a person like him is definitely going to encounter things the way he's encountering them. That's not me being happy that, he was kind of shaken up. It's not a, oh, okay. It's not a thing of him being like, oh, I'm sorry, something just happened. It made me so happy. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. Lost my train of thought. But, with Marcus Rogers, he, with a big platform, speaking about the things he speaks about and being unapologetic about it, you can kind of compare it to Donald Trump. People don't like that. People don't like when you're completely confident in what you're talking about and it goes against their narrative. And, you have that in Christianity. Now, the issue is there's witches coming on him constantly. Like, that's a constant thing that I noticed. And the problem is also, as the church sat back and didn't do what Marcus is doing, the other side has been growing quite a bit. I'm not talking about the spiritual community. I'm talking about literal witches, the ones who work for the devil, the warlocks that are of the synagogue of Satan. I mean that very literally. These human beings work for Satan. Christ followers, we work for Christ. We're his disciples. He's given us all different ranks. You have apostles, you have the prophets, you got the helpers, the teachers. Hey, man. What's it called? You guys, it's the spiritual gifts, but it's also something else that I was naming. Also, government is a spiritual gift. That is something that you need to get from God. You don't need to be no politician if that's not your calling. If you're a politician for the paycheck, if you're a politician for the power, all I'm going to say is make sure you get saved. Because, I don't think you're going to be able to make it by pretending to spread positive vibes. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, with Marcus, he's a grown man. He got like 5 kids. He was in the military. Men like that don't just cry. So in his last video where he's crying, it's like, that is a sign to pay attention. That is a real sign to pay attention to what God is saying. And everything he was saying, I was like, I went to heaven the other day. That's like, it wasn't similar to my experience of heaven, but some of the things that he named rung a bell. I was like, yo, are we all on the same wavelengths right now? So going back to Exodus, a lot of us, spiritual community, you'll understand this as like 4D transitioning to 5D. We're not at 5D yet, like still here, still a person. So it's like that 4D plane. And in Exodus, you can kind of recognize that as the land of Goshen. So Goshen is like a little area outside of Egypt. And that was where the Hebrews were while Egypt was going through all of the pestilence and the bad stuff and all that. And so Goshen could kind of be represented as like, even though it's not the best place, it's not the promised land, it's not where you want to be forever, it's better than there. So Egypt is 3D, Goshen is the 4D, promised land is the 5D. Now the thing is, I don't know who our Moses is, but or was, but right now is like the Joshua time. And so Moses either has passed away or will pass away, and Joshua will take over at that point. Yeah, and then that's how we'll get to the promised land, pretty much. But it's not necessarily dependent on a person, okay? Because you have plenty of people, whether you refer to yourself as a light worker or a Christ follower, anybody who is spreading positivity, anyone who is an intercessor, that is a person who prays for other people, pretty much. Somebody who knows how to really, really get a prayer through. Because I realized through this journey, folks really don't know how to pray. Listen, if you are unsure about something happening, make a wish. If that is incorrect, then God forgive me. But if you don't believe it, make a wish and don't even bother. But if you do believe it, that's when, that is when you pray. Now, another way you could look at that, if you're still like iffy about wishing, pray for God's confidence. Ask him for confidence to fully pray for what it is you're asking for. And so then he'll give it to you. Eventually you will be praying for it with full faith. Like, you can't do anything without faith. If you don't believe it, nothing's going to happen. So yeah, and faith without works is dead. You can't be praying, and then not working towards what's going to happen or preparing for what's going to happen. You have to be in action and prepared. I can't tell you how many times opportunity just falls in my lap just because I was there. Just because you're there and ready, opportunity will come to you. You don't have to chase things. And that is the law of attraction. That is the law of attraction. People would get really confused and they'd be like, how do I use the law of attraction? The law of attraction is just what it is. It is the law of attraction. As a man thinketh, so is he. That is in Proverbs. So anyway, going back to, Exodus. And y'all, I know everybody's been hearing about this mass exodus from California. So, the Bible's literally coming off the pages. I don't understand why, never mind. I was going to say, I don't understand why more people don't know this. Satan doesn't want them to know. Thing is, Satan knows the Bible backward and forward. And so it's you have to have on the full armor of God. And so that's in Ephesians. I think, is that chapter 6? Is it 6 and 13? Let me look it up real quick and make sure. So yeah, it's Ephesians 6, 10 through 18, where they talk about the full armor of God. And so that's the shoes of peace, the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, and the shield of faith. So you got all that, turn it to your little anime character, and you go to work in the spirit realm. And so I'm going to go ahead and end this video, just let y'all know, it's go time. It really is go time. If you ain't never prayed in your life, pray to God. Ask him what to do. I'm not going to urge you to get saved, even though that is what I would love for you to do. And if you want more information on that, go to John 3:16. You got that. Okay, that's between you and God. But for everybody else, just to be prepared in general, even if you're not going to go with Christ, read the Bible, especially read the book of Revelation right now. That is an entire prophecy book. You will know everything. And also Marcus's dreams had a lot to do with Revelation. Dude, I'm telling you, this is it. This is really it. Bye.